How's it, Dave? How's it, Dan? What's happening, man?
How's it? How's it?
First question, Dave. Did you watch the Springboks on Saturday night?
I thought you were going to ask me about football. No, I didn't watch any sport.
Nah, Springboks beat England.
Well,
Good win.
One for some human rights violations and one because I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't watch much football either. Eh? Was it a good weekend, Dave?
Yeah, very good weekend. But geez, I'm wishing last week away. I don't want to remember last week. My luck just went downhill from last week's coffee chat. Got locked out. Lost multiple bets.
Yeah.
Awful week.
It wasn't a good week.
Awful,
Lisa
awful
and
week.
Intergen.
No, we don't have to name anyone.
Yeah, and Daniel's not going to wear, what's it called?
Whoa,
What top?
we don't have to talk about it.
Top. What's it called?
A crop top.
A crop top.
Belly out and all.
Yeah, he lost the bet. Anyways, if you've just joined us, ladies and gents, this is the Coffee Chat with Dave, Dan, and myself, all about property. And today we've got some special guests, Akashni from Cape Town, talking on her journey in SAPIN Women, what's going to be happening on Saturday, and Chuma from Bunisima Attorneys, that's part of SAPIN Youth, and we'll bring them on in a minute. But Dave, tell us, we are getting towards the end of the year. It's the 28th of November today. What's the plans for this week?
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually going to go and just cover what's happening for the rest of the year because there's only 4 events, so it's nice and short. This week, Wednesday in Boksburg, there is a networking breakfast. Drew, I believe Leroy's going to be there. What are you guys going to be talking about on Wednesday?
Yeah, so it's all about what's happening in Boksburg in the CBD and what the plans are with the CBD. Leroy's done quite a few big deals in the CBD. So it's all about for those of you that do want to get into building a block of flats or buying a block of flats, renovating it, converting it, and getting into that space within the CBDs. That's what Wednesday morning is going to be. And how do you finance those type of deals? So it's going to be a breakfast in Boksburg. I'll be there 7 for 7:30, and we'll be there for a couple hours. So if you are in the East Rand or around the Gauteng area, and you want to meet people who are busy investing in the CBDs, especially Boksburg, come down and say hi. That's Wednesday.
It's 8 for 8:30.
Okay, I'll be there. I'm always there setting up 7 for 7:30. So
yeah, okay, 100%. And then Dan, you're hosting a SAPIN Youth event up in Joburg on Saturday, so that's December 3rd, 10 o'clock in the morning. Also another sort of networking event. What's happening there, Dan?
Yeah, that's going to be a super cool one. I'm actually really excited about that as we end the year. We're almost celebrating some of the big wins, the big lessons from this year. And we're actually in Edenvale at the Buzz, the cool new conference facility where some SAPIN Youth members are project managing that entire process. It's going to be awesome. It's all around business and entrepreneurship. Yes, there's going to be talk around property investment like Airbnb, rent. We've got a couple of experts coming to share, but it's all centered around entrepreneurship. Absa Bank are sending the enterprise team to talk about what entrepreneurs have been doing in the industry. They're going to talk about some of the businesses they've invested in and the learnings from those businesses. So what led to that business going under? What led to them going to the next level? For all the entrepreneurs out there, it's going to be awesome. And Chuma actually is going to be a speaker as well. And yeah, super excited for that event, huh?
Awesome, 100%. That's going to be good. So a little further, I think we'll get back into this a little bit later when Akashni comes on. We got December 3rd again. So here in Cape Town at 9 o'clock, we got a breakfast starting for the women. Really exciting events. It's going to be down at the VNA, but I think we'll dig into that a little bit later. So make a note of that. 3rd of December, both in Joburg and Cape Town for breakfast. The 30th in Boksburg. And then Drew, last but definitely not least, our final Joburg Premier event on December 8th, starting at 6:30. What are we doing there?
So it's for professional intermediate members here in SAPIN. We are running the events at the Villa Bianca restaurant. So if you are an intermediate or pro member, we're starting at 6:30. It's going to have a Christmas theme. We're playing property bingo with Marisha Robers. So we're going to make it a fun event. It's going to be a Christmas theme, a lot less presenting, more networking, reflecting the wins for the year, talking about 2023, what's going to be happening. And that specific venue only holds up to 40 people. So make sure that you do click on the link that we'll post for you and you book your seats ASAP. So, and I know, Dave, that Marisha Robers also wants to run the SAPIN Women event next week on the 10th of December. I think it's the 10th of December that she wants to run the last SAPIN Women event. So she's busy organizing it. Now, so all the ladies out there in the Joburg and the Cape Town region, we'll talk more about SAPIN Women a little bit later on. And then, Dave, that's it. 2022 will be wrapped up.
Yeah, just as a reminder, there's still time to enter Investor of the Year award this year. I'll put the link over there. You can go ahead and get your entries in. The sooner you get the entry process started, the better for us and for yourself. We get some time to talk about what's happening. We still get to share your stories and share with the judges. So make sure you're entering. The link is in the chat box over there for Investor of the Year, as well as all the event details.
And Dave, because I'm going to be there at the premier event, I'm going to encourage anyone to enter in Investor of the Year. I'll be able to look at least 3 different pitches next week Thursday. So we'll look for 3 people that want to enter into the Joburg competition. Cool. So that's that. Now, Dave, just before we bring on Akashni and Chuma, let's just chat around. I was going to chat around. Just forgot.
Did you?
I just forgot. No, all I was going to say is before we bring them on, let us know where you are from. Who's with us today? Is it are you from Joburg, Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Durban? Let us know where you are and where are you in your journey. Are you investing in property in terms of residential, commercial, flipping, buy to let? Let us know where you are. If you have any questions at all, please ask us the questions. If you're stuck and you're not sure, between Dave, myself, Dan, Akashni, and Chuma, I'm sure we can help you out. And I know Dave, there's talking about interest rate competitions as well. But we'll see what Dave's got there for us. What have you got there for us, Dave?
We all lost every single bit.
Where's mine? I was on 10.5 actually. Proper reminder.
Sure, you were at 10.5. I would have to go back into the recordings. I didn't get a note of that one. I'm
sure I was. So in terms of we set
Andrew, you were at 8.5. You're right there. 8.5 was your bet. Nico said 9. Timbisa was closest at 10. Still low boy.
That's crazy, eh? So no one actually got it. Where the interest rate would be in December 2022. Okay, so no one won this competition. So now we'll need to start setting a new. At the last event, Dave, at the Browns and Country Club, I got a whiteboard and I put up a sheet there and we spoke about where interest rates will be the 1st of June. I've actually got it somewhere here. And I think I was quite hectic. I went like 12.75. I was super high. A lot of people are at 12%. Let us know where you think will be 1st of June 2023 in the comments box now. Where will interest rates be? 10.11, 11.5, 12, 13. Let us know now. Dave, where do you think it'll be?
I don't know anymore, Drew. I've got this wrong every year so far. If this is one thing, nobody's an expert. Nobody can see into the future. No one can predict what's going to happen. No matter how much experience Andrew and I have, we're still getting this wrong.
No one predicted Russia. You just don't know, do you?
Yeah, so, it is throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded. It is. There is no way to know what's going to happen in the future, guys. Just prepare for the worst.
It's just fun to guess. A little competition there.
We're already on 10.5%.
Well, jeez.
Timmy says no change between now and June. I think that's a little optimistic.
Yeah, very optimistic.
I think we'll definitely see February some more. Corbett says the same or less interest rates. Okay, interesting. Give us your comments on interest rates, guys. Going up or down?
It's got Dave.
It's going up. It's getting worse.
Yeah, we haven't seen the worst of it. But I think just because of time, let's bring on our guests. Let's bring Akashni from Cape Town and Chuma from Bruce Attorneys. Good afternoon, Akashni.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Very good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Good, and Chuma, how's it going, man?
I'm good, thanks you guys. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. And you've got the same cups going.
Cheers, Dan. Cheers, Dan, boy. Cheers, Dan.
Oh, cheers, brother.
Awesome. So now, Akashni, we do want to find out more about SAPIN Women. So before we talk about SAPIN Women the 3rd of December, tell us more about you and your journey. Why did you get into property and where did it all start for you?
Absolutely. And Andrew, I just want to say, when we started this chat, I noticed that the guys always talk about sport, So this is why us ladies are here. We need to add some diversity to the activities.
I would like to point out that's against my will. I do not want to talk about sport.
Well, there we go.
literally
Dave doesn't
fries,
want to
man.
talk about sport. I do like some rugby and soccer myself, though. Cool. Thank you, Andrew. So my name is Akashni. I basically I joined SAPIN. It's about a year and a half ago, I think. Yeah, maybe close to 2 years. Yeah. I am the co-founder of Vimers Enterprises. We're a small startup company and we're an investment company. We care a lot about sustainability. We care a lot about refurbishing properties in areas that really need it. So a lot of social development on our side. And I've been formally a company for just almost a year now, almost a year. So my investment journey though has been a lot longer than that, even though my company journey is about a year.
Excellent, well done. And tell me, when did you buy your first investment property, and where was it?
That was actually way back, 7 years ago almost. Yeah. It was a small bachelor that my husband actually got. And when he bought it, and I keep telling people the story and they find it, I guess, funny, but I just couldn't handle the fact that he had a property and I didn't. So I made my way. I forced myself to actually go and get one too, just to compete with him. And then we just started competing with each other.
So he'll buy one, you'll buy one.
Quick one, who's winning?
Absolutely. Then we realized that we actually needed to pool the money together, and so we started buying together. So,
Okay, cool. So no one won.
No, we didn't win. We actually ended up collaborating, so that was the best option in the end.
And Jonathan says that she just had to get a property that's twice the big as this property.
Yeah, I had to. I just had to. Yeah, so I did.
There we go. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so you bought the first, you bought the second. So right now, you and Jonathan, what's your strategy? What are you looking to invest in? Is it student accommodation, developments?
Absolutely. So, I think when you apply a strategy to something, you have to think about the bigger picture of exactly where you want to end up. So at the moment, it's student accommodation. Absolutely. There is enough demand for that. But for me and for Jonathan, my husband, at the heart of it is really that sustainability aspect. I see South Africa as a place full of investment opportunity. But I also see that there is a lot of poverty. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of there's also a lot of dilapidated properties. And that actually, that speaks to a cause that I feel very passionate about, which is sustainability. And I think through our company, we want to keep on growing because we want to invest in areas that seriously do need it. I think as we get more equipped as well, we'll go into some of the areas that are a little bit more difficult to enter into. So our strategy for now, yes, Andrew, is actually student accommodation. But I feel like long term, it could be bigger types of deals as well, and branching off into different areas as well, not just student. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing at a time, right? So as you grow as an individual, you get more confidence, you get more equity, you get more knowledge and understanding, and so you do the bigger deals. I mean, occasionally I've seen some youngsters come through SAPIN Youth, hungry. They've never bought a property before. They've got no bond affordability, and they literally want to do a 40 million rand project. It's the same as corporate. When you get into corporate, you don't just start at the top. When you come out of university, you start at the bottom and you work your way up. It's the same as property, because when you do try to do the big deals initially, it just takes one big deal to knock you out completely. So now, before we come back to Akashni and the bigger thinking and SAPIN Women, let's jump to Chuma.
Yeah, awesome. Chuma, thank you so much for joining us, my brother. For those that do not know of you, do you mind just telling us a bit about yourself? What do you do? We see a BSA banner there. What do you do within Bruno Sima Attorneys? And yeah, man.
Thank you, Daniel. So my name is Chuma Poltin, and I'm from the Eastern Cape. I did my LLB, which is my law degree at the University of Forte. And then from there, I branched out and went and did law school at NMMU. Most people know it's a university in PE. And then I joined Bruno Simao Attorneys at the beginning of this year, right? And I don't think it's a matter of how I joined it, but rather why I joined it. Bruno Simao Attorneys, for those who know it, specialize in property law rights, right? And we specialize with regards to your properties, litigation, we do commercial, and we do tax. So we represent clients on all those divisions, all right? And we look at specifically residential evictions, farm evictions, commercial evictions, and we also do conveyancing, real estate, and also we also take a look at your wills and your estates and your structuring as well. The role, Daniel, I know you asked which role do I play here at Bruno Simao Attorneys. So basically, I am in the litigation department. So in a nutshell, we just quickly look at the facts of each case. We look at the applicable law, and then we also look at which rule of law, how it applies, and we look at the issues that are in place, and we just basically conclude on making sure that we take good interest of our clients' best interest, and we make sure that we always come out as the winning team.
Always, that's really cool, and it's awesome seeing young individuals like yourself not only going through property investment, but through the different career paths around the property sector. I think when I started out on my journey, Andrew as well told me there's more than one way for youngsters to get involved in property. Yes, there is the investment side, but there's also, as young professionals, right? Whether you want to become an attorney, whether you'd like to become a bond originator, and all the other career paths. But Chuma, what advice would you have for youngsters studying LLB and are looking to venture, or what are the lessons you've learned? I mean, you joined Bruno quite recently. What are some of the lessons you've learned to date that could help out another youngster looking to join that specific career path?
So there are quite a number, Daniel, but I think one that actually stands out for me, right, is that if you're going to be involved in the property sector, right, there's many challenges, right, and you face these challenges whether you're at the beginning stage of things, the middle, or somewhere towards the end, right. The most important thing that I've realized is that two things actually: having the right team around you, right? So being able to always bounce ideas off people, run things through people that are experienced, right? So there's many mistakes that people are almost guaranteed to go through, right? The best thing that you can provide for yourself is the right protection, right? So this will come in the form of experienced people that have been in the field for quite some time. This will come in the way of experienced attorneys, such as Bruno Simao Attorneys, right? And you make sure that you do nothing alone, because the biggest risk you can run is thinking that you can do something alone. You get excited, something lands up on your table, you take a quick look at it, and you think, my word, this amount looks big, I'm going to go for it, right? But you don't understand whether is this even legal, or who are these parties involved? What are the clauses? What does this mean? How do I come in this, and how do I actually get myself out of this if I'm in too deep? So it's always just a matter of understanding what you're getting yourself into, and always speaking to the people around you, and making sure that you're speaking to people that have been in the field for quite some time and who have expertise. You're not your neighbor, not anybody who just has an opinion about something, but people with good expertise.
Yeah, I mean, that's true with everything. Hey? I absolutely love it, especially for young professionals. They are hungry, they've been studying, they want to get their first big win. And if not done properly without the right guidance, everything could fall apart. Huh?
Absolutely, Daniel. So very big on protection of your rights, protection of your business. Whatever you're venturing into, always look at the risks. So involve people that can do risk mitigating for you, and that can only come in the value of expertise and nothing only. Eh?
Definitely, man. Okay, cool. Chuma, thank you for that. Let's jump back to Akashni. Akashni, a question I always get is, as a lady in the property space, going out there, finding deals, negotiating, what are some of the hurdles you've come across, or hurdles that you face in the property space? Let us know.
Absolutely. I think, let me speak to as a woman, as a lady. I think some of the key challenges I may face is with certain people's personalities. You know, for example, if I'm trying to negotiate and I come across a person who may not resonate with me, either as a female or as a whatever, a young person, whatever the case may be. But, you know, things like that can be a big challenge for you. I think it's really important. And I really also resonate with what Chuma has said about leveraging, people around you. You can't do it in isolation. And sometimes if you really want to, sort of win at a negotiation, or if you want to bargain down properly, you've got to rely on other people to sometimes handle certain conversations for you. And that's been a big challenge for me, is how to actually get the right people to trust to do that. And also to know exactly who. So I would say that's a big challenge for me, Andrew. Yeah.
100%. And I think Tanya addressed some of those challenges in a new book. Okay, what's it called? Chicks for Bricks.
Yeah.
Bricks for Chicks. Bricks for Chicks.
Yeah. Nice.
It's a pretty cool book. So hopefully she'll send you some books down there to Cape Town for all the lady investors in Cape Town. We must organize that. Now, before we go into one of the questions I want to ask you, Akashni, what are 3 of the biggest lessons you've learned as a woman in the property, or as a property investor in your property portfolio? First, talk to us about SAPIN Youth. SAPIN Youth, SAPIN Women around the country, and I know you've got an event coming up on Saturday about SAPIN Women. Tell us more about it.
Absolutely. We've got this amazing event coming up 3rd of December, this coming Saturday at the Yard, at the Silo Hotel in Cape Town. It's at the V&A waterfront. It's going to be a really nice platform for us women to just share some of these women-related challenges, but also just general investor challenges. Sometimes you don't really get your voice heard enough. And I think that speaking to others who are facing the same challenges as you can really open that up. So this event is going to be, I want to say it's a chilled kind of event, but it's also one in which I think we're going to have a lot of power-packed discussions, as we always do. And it's always fun and engaging. So that event is predominantly for us women to come together and have a space to speak about the challenges that we face. So I really encourage you all to be there. I'm really looking forward to that event.
Definitely. If anybody is in the Cape Town area on this chat right now, let us know in the comments box who is from Cape Town right now. Let us know, and let us know if you will be joining Akashni and the other ladies. I spoke to Marisha earlier, and she wants to run the SAPIN Women event next week in Johannesburg on the 10th of December, which will be awesome as well. And I know she'll be doing some fun things with the ladies. But maybe let's talk about what's happening on Saturday, Dan.
Yeah, awesome. So in conjunction, Akashni, so he's running an event in Cape Town on the 3rd of December as well. In Joburg, we are running an event for SAPIN Youth, and the whole theme and structure around that event is towards a shared vision. Because something I learned on this journey, we launched SAPIN Youth earlier this year, and there's been so much lessons and talking to different corporates and partners that are making a difference in the lives of many youngsters out there. We put this event together to kind of bring every single one of those corporates together. Their key messaging, I know Absa Bank's messaging is housing an entire nation. That's their vision and that's their goal. And FLISP's, their whole goal is to get every single South African to own a property. So together with partners, we feel add value to as many youngsters as possible, add value to as many people as possible. We put together this event, which I'm super excited about. There's going to be so many awesome speakers, like I stated earlier, from Absa Bank, FLISPs, NHFC, and one of those speakers is actually Chuma. Chuma, do you maybe want to talk around what you will be talking with Lisa? I'm guessing at the event, what your discussion is around, and are you excited to network with some of the youngsters as well?
Look, Daniel, firstly, I must say thank you for the invitation. It's really a great platform that you're providing with the SAPIN Youth. I think the most important thing out there that anybody can do right now is to provide such a platform, access to knowledge, access to innovation, and to education and to growth, and just enabling people to connect in a way that brings value to everybody in the room. So big shout out to you for actually putting this together with the SAPIN team. So very excited to be there this Saturday. I will be speaking about the legal side of things and legal literacy. Lisa will be speaking about the financial literacy. This will be with regards to everybody, or at least the business people that are in the property sector. So your property developers, your property investors, your real estate people, anybody who's an entrepreneur should be there. All right. On my end, I'll be speaking about, from a legal side, about the commercial contracts, right? Contracts that you'll be entering into as a property practitioner, right? Specific clauses as contracts such as OTPs, that's offer to purchase, lease agreements, the type of clauses you should be looking out for, and that type of stuff. And then I'll be moving on to company structures, right? And I'll be defining what's a director, what's a shareholder, what are the responsibilities of each, and whether, if you're opening up a company, should you open up one in your personal name, or should you open up one into a business, and what are the risks of each, right? And then I'll be deviating a bit from that, and I'll be looking as to what are the legal implications of running a business. Here, I'll be looking at things such as insolvency, things such as bankruptcy, right? So, and doing your due diligence when running a business, doing a proper due diligence when running a business, sorry, and ways to safeguard and protect your journey as a property practitioner, investor, or developer. With Lisa, sorry, Daniel, just to finish up, Lisa, on the on the financial literacy side, will look at things such as company registration, tax benefits, budgeting, and protecting your assets. And yeah,
geez, that is powerful. Andrew, I mean, you would know this, like the amounts of times we meet people, we exchange business cards and there's the word CEO and directors, and you just opened a business, but what does that actually mean? If you are the CEO, what are your roles, responsibilities?
It just sounds cool, eh?
Yeah, it does sound cool, right? But with all these things, the amount of people that get excited that they start businesses, they register businesses, it's really awesome, right? But then you obviously need to know what you're getting yourself into, because yes, there is the cool rosy side of running a business, but what happens if things go wrong, right? And what happens if you take on more debt than you can afford as a young entrepreneur? That's going to be something I'm super excited about, hey, Andrew?
Yeah, definitely, man. And the best time to learn it is when you get into business. I wish I'd learned this stuff when I was 18 years old. But that's what all the guys will be talking about at the youth event, right?
Definitely.
So let's actually jump to Akashni. Akashni, you've been investing for a number of years. You've got a property portfolio across South Africa, and I'm sure you've learned some lessons across the journey. Tell us, what did you say 3 of your biggest lessons are, as in, what would you do differently if you had to start again, or what advice would you give a beginner coming through the table now, or the ranks?
Absolutely, Andrew. I think I've learned a ton of lessons through this property journey. One of the biggest ones, and I would say it took me a little bit longer to actually realize this, but I have a very strong experience in the corporate world. I have less of an experience as an entrepreneur, but I never knew how to really merge those two things together. And a lot of us in this network have that same situation where you don't have as much experience as an entrepreneur, but you're a corporate employee. One of the biggest lessons I've learned was exactly how to transfer the skills that I've learned in my corporate experience, especially about how to actually manage a business. I can see through my corporate experience where the business actually landed up. But now as an entrepreneur, I have an opportunity to also see where it starts. So how to merge that experience together, that's the first lesson that I've actually learned. The other lesson that I've learned is how to negotiate better, right? On your job, you do negotiate, but when you're negotiating for yourself, it's a whole different ballgame, especially when you're dealing with your own property portfolio. Stakes are high, and you're a small fry if you're just starting out as well. You don't have a lot of clout, so you need some big boys on and big girls on your team, right? So I think that's another lesson that I learned, especially, it speaks to what Chuma's saying, get the right structures in place. And that's the third thing as well, get the right know-how of what legal help you need. Don't just go, all in for it, for whatever and everything, but, try to understand that, what do you actually need? What sort of structure do you need? How is it helpful to you? If you have children, is it better to opt for a trust or a company, and how does that actually work? So I think having a great legal, team or a legal professional on your side you should do it as soon as possible. Yeah.
Definitely. 3 great tips from Akashni. Thank you very much. And Akashni, we'll be asking what the last thing is.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that, Akashni. So what I want to do now is just to go through events, and then after Chuma and Akashni, please just think about one thing you'd like to leave the listeners and the viewers with. So I'm going to hand over to Dave.
Awesome, thanks, Dan. Good to hear stories, guys. Some exciting events happening. It's really exciting. It's really good. Always time to squeeze it in. I know we all sort of start slowing down. It's almost December, a few days, and we're like, let's slow down for December. The year's almost over. There's still plenty of time to get some stuff done, to achieve your goals. So let me speed run these, and I'll drop a link in the chat box for you guys. So this Wednesday in Boksburg, there's a breakfast at 8:30, talking about the Boksburg market, what's happening there. Leroy's going to be there. Drew's going to be there. Dan, I think you're probably going to be there as well. Yes, no?
Yep.
Yes,
yeah.
Awesome. So you guys can meet Dan.
Cool, huh?
Just to prove that there's more deals in Boksburg. Leroy can stop lying to us about that. Then December 3rd, we've got 2 events. Dan's hosting the SAPIN Youth, the real estate and business event with Chuma, and Lisa's going to be there. That's up in Joburg. Akashni is going to be here at Cape Town at the VNA hosting the women's event. So that's the 3rd of December. And then last but definitely not least, Drew's hosting the last premier event on December 8th for professional and intermediate investors. And all of the events are over there at that link. If you have any questions, problems, you can email support@sapropertynetwork.com, and the team over there will help you out.
Excellent. Thanks, Dave. That's awesome, man.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Dave. So just back to Chuma and Akashni. I'm not sure who wants to go first. One thing you'd like to leave our viewers and listeners with?
Ladies first.
Okay, cool. I just want to say, ladies, come and join us. Let's build this Cape Town community. Every time I'm at an event, I'm always seeing that we're not, in a good proportion there. I really, really want you guys to come out and consider the possibilities of where you can actually, optimize your own portfolio for yourself. So come out and join me. Let's grow our network together in Cape Town.
Definitely. The great thing with that, Dave, is that, Dan, is that SAPIN Women with you, Akashni, and Cape Town, it's not just Cape Town, is it? It's also Port Elizabeth, it's Durban, it's Bloemfontein, it's Johannesburg, for all of you around the country.
Yeah, definitely. It's such an amazing platform. Unfortunately, we always get kicked out like after setting up at these events. I'm sure it's going to be good fun. Huh?
Okay, what you got there, Dave, Dan?
Awesome. Thanks, Akashni. So just before Chuma goes, for all the SAPIN Youth members, Absa Bank is our headline sponsor for the SAPIN Youth events towards a shared vision. And unfortunately, there's only about 5 of these to give away, but these are some awesome giveaways for all the SAPIN Youth members that are coming. We're going to play a cool game. And we have Jabu Zwane actually in his slot where he's talking about the 7 C's of top performers. We will be giving away like 5 of these bad boys. So that's going to be awesome, huh?
Nice. And Chuma, what's one last thing you'd like to give the audience?
Maybe I should maybe have a message for the youth, actually, Dan. You know what? I think one message that I want to put out there is that don't underestimate the power of networking, guys. Please. So make sure that you network with people. Nothing is as important as integration, collaboration, and partnering up with people. That gives you opportunities, that gives you access to the right rooms, and that obviously it gives you a proper guidance. So we are trying to break all types of barriers, and we can just do it better if we do it together, right? The youth is currently playing a very, very, very important role in building the economy, right? In turning the country and taking the right direction, right? So it's very important to make sure that from a leadership perspective, everybody is holding hands, because as individuals we can go far, but together we can go further. So please, let's all just bring value to each other.
Awesome. Thanks, Chuma. That's great, eh?
Jeez, absolutely amazing advice. Thanks for that, my brother.
So, Akashni and Chuma, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for inspiring thousands of South Africans. Akashni, I hope your event is very successful on Saturday with all the ladies. Take photos and post all the photos on social media. Eh?
We'll definitely do. Thank you, Andrew.
Awesome. Thanks, Akashni. And Chuma, same with you. You'll see Dan on Saturday. I hope it's a great event. And we'll see you soon. Eh?
100%. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me once again.
Cool. Lucky, man. Cheers, eh?
Cheers.
Okay, cool, mate. So that is awesome. SAPIN Women and SAPIN Youth. It's something which we launched in 2022, and it's growing very quickly. Looking forward to 2023 and seeing how that goes along. Dave, I see there's a question. I'll let you know, Dave, that next week, Monday, is the 5th of December, I think it is. That will be our last coffee chats, everyone.
Yeah.
The 5th of December with our last event on the 8th. So please join us next week. Tag a friend in. Chuma is saying, where is Edenvale? It's in Johannesburg, very close to the airport.
Where in Edenvale?
Oh, where in Edenvale? Oh, sorry. I was just, where is Edenvale? It's going to be, well, it depends which event. If we're talking about SAPIN Youth, it's a Fort Trekker Avenue in Edenvale, which the details will be online on the events page. If you're talking about the premier event, it's actually Kempton Park, which again is very close to the airport. And we will give you the address details when you do book. Edenvale is quite a small place, so check out the events page on the sapropertynetwork.com website. Look for the event you're interested in. And then, like Dave said, send a support email, support@sapropertynetwork.com, and we'll give you the actual address details.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jonathan says, come to Cape Town instead.
We all know Joburg's the most beautiful city in the country. Way better than Cape Town. Well, that's Joburg boys, eh? Definitely. Well, no, cool,
right.
Dave. I think that's it, eh?
I think that's it, guys. We'll be back same time, same place next week.
Cool.
Dan?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, over the next few weeks, on my profile, there might be someone that looks like me, is on my profile with a really awful shirt. That is not me. Just putting it out there. That is definitely not me.
I will take a photograph from everyone. He lost the bet on Friday night. Ching Chong Tang. He's going to wear a funny shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.